Today's episode will shock you. Mkhwanazi drops a very serious bombshell on 3 constables that went missing. Do you remember us speaking about the crime intelligence members that mysteriously got missing or went missing and mysteriously found death? And even how they were found was questionable. Do you remember that? Today, we have something. Okay, but this is what I'm going to do. I will take you on a journey. Give me time and lend me your ears. There's something that I want to show you that Mkhwanazi has shown us, but we are not paying attention to. Right, number 1. We now know that 3 members of crime intelligence died. They were working on cyber security, right? And as they died in a mysterious way. They are traveling from Limpopo, or sorry, from Bloemfontein to Limpopo, right? There's a car that is traveling with them. This car is said to be just as a normal civilian. Do you remember that issue of this car that follows them? Well, Fanema Samola speaking about that car here.
Let's give it space. And also remember, right at the beginning there at the Grasmere engine garage, you remember the gentleman who was driving the NP200. We also investigated that, and we definitely can rule out that we are quite fair with what he told us. And his employer also told us his whereabouts, the routes, and we have got no doubt. And therefore, provisionally now, we do take his story that what he says that he drove with the car from Bloemfontein and they were overtaking each other along the road, and at some point he felt a bit uncomfortable, hence he wanted to see who are in the car. After he has seen that no, it's 2 ladies and a man, he was a bit much more comfortable and he left.
Okay.
So
fast forward. Travel with me, because this is going to be a very interesting episode. So, now we know that Mr. Matlala has a company that provides what does it provide? It specializes on VIP. But Mr. Matlala has interest on South African Police Service. He wants to control the South African Police Service. We now know that he's interested in gaining more control. In Pretoria, he's being accompanied by members of SAPS local VIP protection, as well as members of SANDF blue lights. That we know. We know that Mr. Matlala has serious connections in the South African Police Service. We know that, as a matter of fact, that the Minister of Police does not want to, or they have an interest in the intelligence department. They want to destabilize the intelligence department. Didn't I say the people that died were working for crime intelligence, right? In the Department of Cyber Security. Didn't I say that? Okay. I will say something later on. Remember that Brown Mkhwanazi confirms that he does get access to classified information that belongs to the intelligence. You know what? Who's Brown Mkhwanazi? Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi? Okay. Piece things together here. I'm not gonna do that for you. Okay? I'll take you on a different journey. I need to mix some things here. So we know that Brown Mkhwanazi has confirmed that he has got classified information from the intelligence department. But for you to understand this, let's go back to the video of Mkhwanazi. First of all, there was a time where in June, a group of 6 members of crime intelligence get arrested, led by Khumalo, right? Now, notice something. The investigator that arrests this, or who is in charge of the investigation, does not even have the qualification of investigation. That person who is investigating this group of people that are arrested was a member of crime intelligence. I'm not sure whether he retired or resigned, but Mkhwanazi is about to explain the status of this person. He does not have any qualification in investigation matters. Mkhwanazi confirms that. Do you get where I'm coming? Listen to Mkhwanazi here.
But I must just indicate to South Africans that Mr. Padayache, who appeared in court on the day when these police officers were arrested, whom the magistrate referred to as an investigating officer, is a former member of crime intelligence himself. He retired from the police and he went to join this new unit, IDEC. He is now referred to as a lead investigator with no qualification, no investigative experience at all. But he is a person whom the magistrate directs that if anything is wanted at crime intelligence, must go via him. So he gives him a carte blanche to access anything at crime intelligence on behalf of the members that are employed to work there. The vetting section within crime intelligence has more powers than any other units within that space, because they can scrutinize everything about the applicant who's applying for security clearance. And they can manipulate that security clearance process for their own benefit.
So, you do notice that there is a problem because they want to capture the intelligence department when the minister issued a letter to disband, to illegally disband the political task team, where he does not even inform the commissioner. He signs the letter, send it to KZN. What does he do? He says everything related to crime intelligence, nothing must continue. Everything related to police, like visible police, like your SAPS station, it continues. People are training. But when it comes to crime intelligence, the minister issued a very strict message that positions must not be occupied. Mkhwanazi then complain and say, if we don't have crime intelligence, how are we going to continue curb crime? Because crime intelligence is the most important thing. In fact, I'll share something with you. But listen to Mkhwanazi speaking about that here.
As we speak, the South African Police Service, KwaZulu-Natal, still does not have a leader within crime intelligence because of the letter where the minister suspended the filling of vacancies at crime intelligence, which is dated the 31st of December. So to date, we don't have a command of crime intelligence in this province. We are trying to figure out on our own how to infiltrate syndicates because the minister decided these posts must not be filled. The crime intelligence at the national level has no commander as we speak. And we must thank the magistrate who made the ruling that went beyond what the charge sheet against the accused is about, which the members were charged on HR-related matters that dealt with filling of vacancies. The magistrate directed that these members must never enter any premises of crime intelligence in the country. So which means all the work of crime intelligence had to come to a halt. Interesting for us is that another magistrate who then had the matter of the second accused on that case, who had remained in custody last week, did not issue the same condition. He understood that the judiciary cannot get involved in determining whether people must go back to work or not. It is an employer that must make the decision.
Now, I want to show you, I'll share something with you, don't worry. When the members of crime intelligence that were arrested during June, when they were arrested, we then had, I'm not sure whether it's Fanima Semola or it's the spokesperson of the South African Police Service, Brigadier Aklenda Mate, who said 80% of their work, piece this thing together. 80% of our work as the South African Police Service depends on the crime intelligence. No, don't listen. Let me come back. You'll understand something. I'm going somewhere. 80% of the work that we do as the South African Police Service depends on the crime intelligence. So it makes sense why Mkhwanazi complains about the fact that why are you not prioritizing the crime intelligence, because then we will not be able to penetrate syndicates without crime intelligence. But the minister is very specific that crime intelligence must not function properly. Positions must not be filled. It does not give directions as to until when. Okay, wait a minute. On another hand, we know that there's a drug cartel that is operating in Gauteng. So if there is such a group of people that operates in Gauteng, what is it that they hate the most? Okay, I'm gonna give you something. It was July 2021 where a group of crime intelligence led by Dumzan Kumar made a bust of 200 million worth of cocaine in Joburg. So this group of drug cartel, who do they hate the most? I'll leave it there. It was in 2021 where Khumalo had made a dry bust with his team of a cocaine worth 200 million. That same cocaine was lost or was stolen. I don't know whether it was the one that was stolen in Durban again. 200 million worth of cocaine was stolen in Durban in the offices of Hawks. We did that episode around the weekend of 5 to the 8th of November, the same year, 2021. Pause. Do you know that it is the work of intelligence to trace people wherever they are and find everything about you? So what happened if you just hold them? I wouldn't use that other word, but what happened if you control that department? Why Mr. Brown Mokgotsi seems to have specific attention or interest on crime intelligence that is then shared with who? Matlala, who owns what? Who owns a VIP protection, who wants to control the street. Now, notice this. Where does the 3 members of crime intelligence die? Joburg. 2, notice the fact that they died on a route that it does not make sense where we found them, where they were found. Okay? It does not make sense. Now, I will leave it there for now. Let's proceed. Mkhwanazi then had something to say about Mkhwanazi and his crew having penetrated crime intelligence. Not me. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi had something to say about the crime intelligence being penetrated by Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi, who is a friend to Matlala. Matlala and Mkhwanazi, together with the minister, are I'm not going to say anything about that. But yeah, this is General Mkhwanazi speaking about that. He said here,
the evidence has been found in the cell phone of Mr. Vusimus, also known as Cat Matlala, which shows the communication between Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi and the Minister of Police, Mr. Saps Constables. As I said, this was the beginning of the closure of the political task team.
Okay. Let's now show you something. I will show you something. Mkhwanazi showed or dropped a bombshell here. I don't know if you are paying attention to that. Do you notice that I did a video, it's here, where this Mr. Matlala has a tender with the SAPS National. But EMPD Metropolis Eguruleni Also, the man has a controlled dominance there. This is me telling you that the man had a particular interest with the police. The man wanted to control the police. If you want to control the police, which department you will hate the most in the South African Police Service? It is the intelligence. Why? Because the intelligence can gather the intelligence department can gather information on you without you knowing that they are gathering information on you until the day when they choose to attack. It can be in a form of you getting arrested. So the department that you will like to or you will hate the most is a department that has a potential of breaking or has a potential of uncovering your scandal. Wait a minute. These guys were working on what? Cybercrime. They died mysteriously where? In Joburg. A place where is a comfort ground for Mr. Matlala. Remember, he is in control of the metropolis Eguruleni. His contract has just been cancelled nationally. Now, to make matters worse, in a story that is now documented by this Cutting Edge, we know that the partner, Mr. Jerry, who had a VIP protection company, he's currently being kidnapped. We don't know whether he's now been killed or what, but we know that Jerry is kidnapped by who? The same Matlala. Okay, Park, wait. What does that tell us? It tells us that he hates competition. You don't want to compete with him? He has particular interest, this man. Now, I want you to show you something. Matlala, if he loves dominance and control, who does he need? Politicians. I am not going to say anything. Let's allow Mkhwanazi to speak about that here.
On the 13th of May this year, the contract of Vusumuzi Cat Matlala was cancelled by the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. On the 14th of May this year, Vusumuzi Cat Matlala sent a message to Brown Mkhwanazi, which reads, I quote, "Morning. Just to let you know that my contract was cancelled yesterday. And I see you've been ignoring me and promising me things that never happened. Luckily, took screenshots of every conversation just in case something like this might happen. I'm taking all this to media and some to court on Friday when I do the interdict." Close quote. On the 30th of May 2025, the Investigative Directorate Against Corruption, which is referred to as IDEC, requests the exhibits from the cell phone of Vusumuzi Cat Matlala from the political killings task team, and they download the content of the cell phone. IDEC is a unit that was established to deal with corruptions in the country. We don't know what is it that we're investigating for them to come and ask for these cell phone downloads. On the 25th of May. On the 30th of May, I beg your pardon. On the 25th of June this year, the project coordinator of the political killings task team is arrested by IDEC. A dramatic arrest. On the 26th of June 2025, the accused, Katiso Katie Molefe, who was arrested by the very same task team, was granted bail. Guess that one went under the radar.
So, Mkhwanazi then tells us that Matlala's contract is now cancelled. When it was cancelled, what does he do? He tells them that, listen, I've got information that can compromise your career. You. He talks to two politicians, one in parliament and one is not in parliament. After threatening them and telling them that, listen, I have the evidence. If you don't act, hell will break loose. What happens after that? Then IDEC strike. When IDEC strike, guess what happened? This group of investigators or crime intelligence are arrested, rather. One will argue and say they have crimes of their own. And I will tell you this. They may have crimes of their own, or they may be dirty themselves. But what they are arrested for right now doesn't look like they are arrested for their crimes. It doesn't look like the call to arrest them was genuine. It looks like the call to arrest them was motivated by something else other than them being dirty on their own. I get the frustration. I get the fact that people are complaining about that these people are dirty, what. I get it. But what they are arrested for now has nothing to do with that. We then get this glimpse that protocols were breached. And as protocols were breached, they rushed to arrest them. Fine, they were arrested. But I want to take you back. I want you to notice that when Matlala speaks, it doesn't even take 2 weeks. There's an action. You will understand this. Don't worry. You will see the power of Matlala. But please notice that going back to the members of crime intelligence, the 3 constables that died, notice that they were traveling from from Free State, Bloemfontein, going to Limpopo. We spoke about the route in which they should have been traveling on was a straightforward route. There was no need for them to be found wherever they were found. Absolutely no need. Then I want you to notice something about everything. How they were found. I want to ask you a question. Do you know who was the lead investigator in the case of these 3 members? Do you know who was the lead investigator? Oh, well, you don't know. Well, it is General Sibiya that was the lead investigator on this case. Now, I don't want to say much about a lot of things there, but listen to this.
Yes, this is a case that has been prioritized, and the National Commissioner put the best team in place to run with this matter, and then I led the investigation. The investigation is still continuing, though. I can't say now that we have concluded the investigation because we still haven't found the car, but we can tell now that the family managed to identify the bodies, and they've been positively identified as their members.
So we know General Sibiya is a lead investigator. So mark this name, General Sibiya. So General Sibiya is a lead investigator on this trial, or on the discovery, or until these 3 constables are discovered. Does General Sibiya had any connection to Matlala? Does General Sibiya have connections to the minister? I don't know. Well, we will allow evidence to speak for itself. In a video that was shared by General Mkhwanazi, this is the video that is about to explain something, but before we allow that video to explain something, notice the fact that how the whole crime scene, everything that did not make sense. Please notice that. Did not make sense. So as things did not make sense, the car, remember that the side, the left-hand side of the vehicle was super cool. Nothing happened to the left-hand side of the vehicle, but it has been said that the vehicle Look, as it was driving, going into the water, it hit the barrier of the road. But then we asked the question: but why is the left-hand side in which it would have hit the barrier on this road? Why is it so okay this side to an extent that the windows are fine? Why? We asked that question. Do you remember that? We have been saying there is something fish about this. Okay. We don't discredit anybody. We are saying there's something fishy about this one. Do you remember that? Okay. Since you do remember that, I'll take you on a journey, don't worry. It's a very interesting episode that you need to understand the bombshell here. Now, General Mkhwanazi spoke about something Mkhwanazi and Sibiya here.
On the 26th of January 2025, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sent a message to the Minister of Police, Saps Mchunu, which reads as follows, I quote, "The guy of the funding in bracket 20 is also in Joburg from Tuesday. He is the one I said has a 3 billion contract with Saps." Close quote. Open quote again, another message. "I am also meeting with the DNC and the COS today." Now, in the abbreviation, the DNC in the South African Police Service is referred to as the Deputy National Commissioner, and the COS would be, in this regard, the Chief of Staff. He says, "I'm also meeting with the DNC and Chief of Staff today in Durban for finalization of Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi's matter." Close quote. Another message reads, "DNC is waiting for the Chief of Staff here. This is very significant." Close quote. This is extracted from the communication of the arrested person. So we ask ourselves a question: is there a theory of conspiracy targeting senior officers involving the Minister of Police in this country?
Nah, now you get it. So, please notice this. They have a relationship. There's a relationship there. But their relationship is that it's based on this. Nobody stands on my way. Anything that stands on my way in the South African Police Service, the minister will remove it. Sibiya will remove it, so that it paves way for me, Matlala, to continuously travel. I'm not going to say much. I'm going to allow evidence to speak on itself. Do you remember? We'll go back and talk about General Mkhwanazi speaking about people being captured. But I want you to notice this. The minister issues a letter. He disbanded the political killing task team. He stopped the filling of crime intelligence vacancies, right? Now notice something. What could be disturbing Mr. Matlala? Is crime intelligence, political task team that is specializing on something. So as soon as the political task team force landed on his yard to investigate him, because they can see that he's a serious guy, so they sent their most serious guy. As soon as that happened, then Mkhwanazi tells us that after that, this is what happened.
The evidence has been found in the cell phone of Mr. Vusimus, also known as Cat Matlala, which shows the communication between Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi and the Minister of Police, Mr. Saps Mchunu. As I said, this was the beginning of the closure of the political task team. On the 14th of May this year, 2025, the task team arrested Vusi Muzi, who is also known as Cat, Matlala for an attempted murder ×3. I must highlight that this Mr. Vusimuzi Cat Matlala is an individual who was awarded a police contract of over 360 million rand in 2024. An analysis was conducted on electronic communication of this arrested person. This analysis reveals communication between the arrested Vusimuzi at Cat Matlala, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, an associate of the Minister of Police, as well as the Minister of Police, Saps Mchunu. On the 1st of January, the letter is issued on the 31st. On the 1st of January, 2025, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sends a WhatsApp to Vusimuzi Cat Matlala, and it reads as follows, I quote, "I have arranged a meeting for Sibiya and the minister. They must have a solution." And it follows another message. "The task team that came to your house and harassed you have been dissolved. They got the letter on Monday. As we speak, they are bringing all docket to Sibiya." This letter is issued on the 31st of December 2024. This communication is on the very next day, the 1st of January 2025, where it says the dockets have been called and have been sent to Sibiya. Yes, we know the dockets only were sent to Sibiya in March this year. Further analysis of the chats indicates that Vusimuzi Cat Matlala is financially supporting the Minister of Police and Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi's political endeavors. This is supported by the evidence of conversation and the proof of payments of guests for January 8 traveling cost and the Ghana dinner in Cape Town, which was done in 2025.
So we know that after they were now on Matlala's look, they were on Matlala's shoes now. They were finishing him. They've made it clear that, you know what, Matlala, we have done our intelligence. Now we are coming live to you. We are arresting you. Saying that, he realized, no, I don't have a chance. He says, no, I need a political power now to protect me, because these ones I'm not going to be able to kill them, but I need a political power to protect myself against them. Guess what happened? Disbanded, discontinued, illegally. No problem. Very, very interesting. I want to take you to a story where Khumalo is arrested. When Khumalo is arrested and his team, the intelligence team, when they were arrested, the magistrate says something. And what the magistrate says, Mkhwanazi says, I've never heard of that. Where a magistrate tells us, anyone not to enter this building, it's not the place of the magistrate to tell these people not to enter the building. Not unless the employer decides so. Once you get arrested, the employer must suspend you and tell you that don't come close. You, the magistrate, you deal with the criminal aspect of things, not HR related things. So what would have caused the magistrate to now temper or go as far as dealing with HR related matters in a matter that he should be dealing with crime related matters? Well, park that right there. Maybe you shouldn't park it. Maybe we should deal with it. Mkhwanazi had something about cartel and this to say.
In the year 2024, a request was received from Gauteng Organized Crime Investigating Unit to assist with the investigation to dismantle the organized crime syndicate that was operating in Gauteng, that was controlled in Gauteng but operating in the rest of the country and in neighboring countries. I, as a Provincial Commissioner, took a decision to deploy 10 members from this political killings task team to go and support this organized crime unit in Gauteng. I can tell South Africans that this decision was a cause for the disbandment letter of this team, because they overstepped their mandate of only focusing in KZN. They went to support Gauteng organized crime unit with the dismantling of a criminal syndicate. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country.
Okay, now, travel with me. This is becoming very interesting. Whilst we are still talking about magistrate and everything, there's a woman that is arrested with Khumalo. Notice something here. Notice that Matlala said, I'm going to go on the media and I'm going to start painting a specific narrative about you. Notice that so Matlala has influence, media influence. As we are now beginning to see the media influence, they are building something against Mkhwanazi. We can see, we see it on the media that is now building. It is building at the slowest pace, but it is building up. The media becomes a tool. Now, let me remind you something about media. Do you remember listening to the press conference at ANC? Do you remember that suddenly, out of the blue, the ANC secretary, look, the ANC is now complaining about media. Media is misbehaving all along. They haven't complained about media misbehaving. They never complain about it. But of lately, suddenly they now complaining about media misbehaving, this and this. Okay, pay attention to that. It was an invitation for the media to attack Mkhwanazi. Park that, we'll come back. But I'm going to tell you now, Mkhwanazi will be attacked by the media. And it is starting to happen now. Now, Matlala and Mkhwanazi, after Matlala has been arrested, they then had to have a conversation about that. And that conversation is captured by Mkhwanazi here.
On the 31st of December, we have seen Mr. Brown Mokgotsi sending the following message to the Minister of Police, which reads, Minister, I'm going to get the case number and the judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. It is a matter now which either Sibiya or the minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary regulations of the South African Police Service. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine, Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy, having this kind of policing. The good thing now is that these are not allegations, but a court judgment. This is extracted from a conversation that Mr. Brown Mokgotsi is sending to the Minister of Police.
Now, this then becomes very interesting. I know this is one special episode that you need to pay attention to, because this episode is going somewhere, right? So we know that there is a relationship between Mkhwanazi, Minister Mchunu, Matlala, and General Shadrack's Bill. We know that by now, based on the videos. We now know that out of this relationship, no one gets arrested as long as you are in the pocket of Mr. Matlala and Mr. Matlala himself. Because even when the political killing task team, when they were after Matlala, they then get pulled out and say, nope, nope. Now, let me remind you something. There's something, just to show you something. When this political killing task team were dealing with Matlala, and Matlala made one call where headquarters of South African Police Service, national, and then they quickly dispatch a team from national police officers to come and rescue Matlala, because Matlala apparently is now being harassed by fake cops. But when this police from national arrived, they realized, these are legitimate police. Guess what? They stand back. They couldn't help him. This then shows you the influence of Matlala in the South African Police Service. Wait, it doesn't end there. The influence, now I want to show you something. This is where it seals everything. This is where we seal everything. Based on the evidence that we have, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi has knowledge of things that is yet to happen, that relate to everybody that stands on their way. Notice that. To an extent that he can tell Mkhwanazi that you're about to get arrested. It's not me, it's Mkhwanazi here.
Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sends a WhatsApp message to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, regarding the allegation on the defeating the ends of justice matters which were widely publicized, which involves an incident that happened at the Correctional Service at Mpangeni in KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Brown sends this message in September last year, long before the news came out in public about the incident that happened at Mpangeni. He sends this message. In this message that he sends to the Provincial Commissioner, he attaches a police letter and he attaches a copy of the occurrence book, a register that is used at the police station that's supposed to only be accessed by police officers. But Mr. Brown, who's not a police officer, attaches those in his message and he sends it to the Provincial Commission. His word says there is a plot to charge you. Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi also sends a screenshot of a presentation that was made on the 30th of September 2024, a presentation that was titled 2024-2025 Division Crime Intelligence Policies. He sends this to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, as a Provincial Commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal. Surely this must have been a classified information where crime intelligence are presenting their policies. But this man has access to that, and he's not a policeman. When asked to share the copy of this presentation through that WhatsApp communication, he responded by saying, General Khan will brief you next week. There's only one General Khan in the South African Police Service, so is one Lieutenant General Sibiya in the South African Police Service.
Now, here is what I'm trying to show you, that I'm not going to tell you. But I'm going to have to ask you questions. What information did the members of crime intelligence, the 3 members, what type of information they stumble upon? Because we know that it's between 2 things. It's either they stumble upon information that they were not supposed to know, or they were standing on somebody's way. Because their death is still mysterious. It will go down in history as one of the most mysterious deaths. We cannot justify what we saw there. We cannot call it natural, because no way. But I want you to focus on the characters involved here and then look at the interest of one individual, Mr. Matlala, and then go back and contrast it with the members of crime intelligence. One of the things that you could appreciate here is, it could be many things that the members of crime intelligence, whose side they were on. It also matters what potential threat they pose to certain individuals. I am saying it's about time we revisit that. What the bombshell that Mkhwanazi dropped here, it shows us something about the quest to control the entire crime intelligence. Now, even Fikile Mbalula, I'm not gonna insert that video because it's gonna be a very long video. If I insert this one. But even Fikile Mbalula complains and say, how come classified secrets of the states is in the hands of a civilian? Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, who is referred to as a civilian by Fikile Mbalula. That same guy is having an interview on SAPC. He's then being asked, are you a police officer? He says, no. He then being asked, how come you get classified information? He says, information comes to me. I don't go looking for information. You know, you and I know that answer, there's everything wrong with it. You and I know that. So I don't need to defend that. But we know, as a matter of fact, that they have particular interest. They have a specific interest to make sure that the crime intelligence department is under their control. They control the crime intelligence. There are two reasons why you will want to control that department. Number one is because the department is a problem to you. Number two, you want to control it because you want to use it against all your opponent. That could be two reasons. The question that I want to ask, without saying much, what information did these three members of crime intelligence that were killed in a very cruel way, what information they stumble upon? I want to leave it there. What information they stumble upon? Because the location in which they were found in does not make sense. If they were found on a freeway, heading home makes sense. If they were found, even the nature or the state of the vehicle, it does not make sense. Even the things that were found in that car, we ask a lot of questions. The driver should be found here. The driver is not found there. So it starts from the location in which they were found in. Consider where they were traveling from to. Now they were found in a different location that does not go to, or is not towards where they're supposed to be going, because even if you want to justify the fact that they were out there to look for food, that still doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. It will never make sense, because you can find a lot of garage or petrol station on your way. So there are a lot of questions that are being asked, but I'm saying to you, now that we have come to know that this man wants to control intelligence to an extent that as of us speaking, Jerry has not been released. Why? Jerry had a VIP protection company. I just want to say it. I just want to leave it there. Mkhwanazi has given us something. There is something that is about to blow up. Don't say I did not warn you. But I also, before I exit this episode, I wanted you to notice the fact that who is the lead investigator in this matter? Who is he connected to? Who is the minister? Who is he connected to? Who is Brown Mkhwanazi? Who is he connected to? The person in which they are connected to, what are his interests? Hey, if these people are able to tell or to disband a political task team, what is crime intelligence to them? How come Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi knows things that are happening in crime intelligence? What does it tell you about the quest to know and control crime intelligence? What does it tell you? Why does the secrets of the state lies in the hands of a person that has never been trained to keep them? 2, why does the secrets of the state lies in somebody that is with a person that has not signed an NDA form? 3, why does the classified secrets of the state is in the hands of a person that has never taken oath to keep those secrets until grave? How come the secret of the state is in the hands of such a human being? It tells you something. There's something beyond human imagination that we need to investigate here. Unfortunately, we don't have that. But I'm telling you this. You will remember this episode. You will remember this episode. Mark this episode. I still owe you an episode that I said we will come back and talk about. So far as the members of Crime Intelligence is concerned, there's just one episode that I still owe you, and I'm still going to deliver that episode. Probably tomorrow I will deliver that episode, but I want you to watch this episode and then mark some of the things from this episode. You will notice that there's a hand of someone here. In fact, there are hands that we now know on the media. It looks and appears like their hands can be traced in the death of these members of Crime Intelligence. I want to end it there. I just want to end it there. But I'm telling you now, it looks like their hands can be traced on this case.